huge congratulations on this series. I've seen the first 4 episodes. It's so much fun. Obviously, no spoilers, but we know that Agatha and the witches kind of go on this on the witches' road for some trials. And I love the way that it's kind of a nod to Wandavision with the changing realities.
Yes.
So we have like the wasps, the 70s. Where did you get the inspiration for all the trials, and which one was your favourite?
Yeah, oh gosh. So we very much wanted to capture that same WandaVision spirit where, you know, the episodes have their own sort of genre look, that we have a filter. But we wanted to do it in a new way, and so we were very inspired by anything to do with witches. And so it was, first they were tethered to the character, you know, whoever's episode it was, and then it was, we were trying to figure out, like, how were witches persecuted in the past, you know?
Okay.
Water, fire, that kind of thing. So that informed it. And then it was, what are the spaces that are particularly witchy or conducive to covens? Where do we see women gather?
Okay.
And so those were kind of the questions that we asked that formulated what the episodes look like.
Yeah, the kind of like Big Little Lies nod. Loved it.
Yes, which I'm like, those are witches.
What do they call it? Huge, massive lies.
You caught
Yeah,
that?
I did.
It's my favorite piece of ADR.
But I was like looking online, because obviously Marvel fans are so excited for this, and people are trying to pick apart the trailers and everything wherever possible.
Yeah.
I saw this really interesting one of the welcome coven, and she kind of rips it down,
Yeah.
and there's a W left, and everyone's going wild saying, what does this stand for? Was it intentional? I guess I'll just ask you on behalf of the fans.
You know what? I'm going to tell you, no, that one wasn't intentional.
Okay.
How that happened.
It's debunked. It's It's done.
You heard it here first.
Okay, I got you. And you're obviously really into witch culture. You've been researching it and everything. So you know loads of pop culture witches.
Yeah.
We have Sabrina, Hermione, Agatha, Wanda.
Yes.
Which witch is hard to say.
I know, right?
In pop culture, would you most like to go shopping with?
Oh, shopping.
Okay, yeah, it's specific.
It is specific. Who would be so fun to go with? Is it weird to be like Ariana Grande as Glinda? Or what's her character name?
Yeah, no, that's perfect.
It is Glinda, right?
Yeah, no, I love that.
I get tripped up between Wicked and Wizard of Oz. Yeah, I just, in terms of like the fun of the experience.
Yeah, for
that
sure.
Would be my choice.
And which witch would you most like to go on a night out with?
Oh gosh.
Hard-hitting questions.
Yeah. I think Agatha, because I just think it would be crazy, and
she would be good fun.
You would just get into so much trouble, and then you could get out of the trouble.
Yeah. And I wanted to ask you about creating a character like Agatha. I mean, I kind of like love to hate her, hate to love her.
Yes.
How do you toe that line when creating a character that's kind of so unlikable, but I'm also kind of rooting for her at the same time?
Well, on the superficial level, like early on in the room, we were like, people love to see her be naughty. And so we did these, like, I assigned the writers, like, come in with a list of like 10 things that Agatha would do that are like terrible but also hilarious. And I wish I could tell you what they are, because some of them made it into the show. But it's like, it's delicious to be with a character who is full of mischief and is like doing bad things that don't like super harm people. But there are times where she does harm folks, and I think that in terms of the larger thing, it's like we just have to always understand why she's doing what she's doing in order not to have her become an unsympathetic villain.
Yeah, she's complicated, but I am rooting for her. I think I have time for one more.
Yeah.
I love how you guys touch on witch misconceptions in this a lot. Like, what is it, like a third nipple and like talking to goats? How did you decide what was going to be true of a Marvel witch and untrue of a Marvel witch?
Yeah. Well, so, I mean, that's funny that you brought up like that moment because we wanted to be like, we embrace every misconception, but also we reject all the misconceptions, which I feel like that is true to the experience of anyone who feels othered. Is like, you're like, don't put me in a box, but also this is my box. You know what I mean? Like, so it was that feeling that we wanted of like, you know, we don't talk to goats. I mean, unless it's a magical goat, and then we'll talk to the goat.
Yeah.
So like, it was that. I think that's how I feel about being a woman. Is I'm like, You don't get to make assumptions about me. However, if I behave in a way that is totally stereotypical, if I'm on my couch eating ice cream because I'm sad about something, that is my prerogative.
Yeah,
but
that
don't
is
you
your
be
right.
putting that in a rom-com.
I love that. Thank you so much. That was
Yeah.
a really good answer. I've been told to wrap up.
Okay.
Well, huge congratulations.
Thank
I'm
you.
so excited to see the rest of the series.
Thank you.
And thank you for all the insight into everything. It was
Oh my gosh, I
great.
loved your questions.